you're solo, you don't want to be on the toilet. It's just a bad situation.
There
So
is something there's something relieving about going into the bathroom, even if you're not doing any weird stuff, and you just lock the door and you're just in your own little cocoon and nobody can bother you.
yep.
It's a good feeling.
Hey, exiles, welcome to another episode of the Still Sane podcast. I am your host, Talkative Try, and I am honored to be joined by Raxx to talk all things Path of Exile 2, zero point 0.4, Fate of the Val, The Last of the Druids. We are about 6 days into the release. It has been a bit polarizing, especially for myself. Usually very positive about PoE2. I've had a little bit of a downer time with the patch, been pretty open about that. And we have Raxx here who, according to my comments, is very positive about the patch. So, Raxx, I would love to chat with you all about this update, starting with just your, initial thoughts, man, and your initial progress. How's it been going for you?
Well, honestly, it was pretty rough in the beginning. We joked about the meme about me being Mr. 17 damage on the druid. I saw at least 50, 100 comments over the weekend of people saying that they're going to have to downgrade me to Mr. 16 damage as I feverishly sifted through all the different druid builds, bear, wolf. I didn't really touch wyvern and I didn't touch plant because plant for me initially wasn't really um, like the fantasy of shape shifting, right? It's like, did we really come all this way just to be a human druid and just be another spellcaster? Um, got through the campaign fine, but I experienced a lot of the frustrations that, the community has been experiencing the same as everybody else. The thing that has really turned the league around for me is actually finally playing Plant Druid. Like
Oh,
I don't know
wow.
if you've tried it or if you've seen it, but it is absurdly powerful and extremely fun. So that was going to be one of my suggestions for you. People are calling me like Mr. Rogers now, and you're the Doomer. Apparently, is the new narrative on the street. But I think things might change for you if you try if you try Plant Druid. That swapped everything around for me anyway.
That has been the praise that I've been hearing. Plant Druid is one of the smoothest builds of the patch. It's the unexpected winner. I I don't know. I might give it a go because, at least for me, the problem with the patch started right when I hit endgame. I was having a blast in the actual campaign and the interludes. I streamed it all. I played through in private too with my wife through Act 1. I did Bear. I started with Bear. I think you started with Bear too, right? You got it all the way to the. I
Yeah.
saw your guide put out. My dad was following your guide. Big fan, by the way. And I loved it until Endgame. And I don't think it was the druid. It's just something happened to me at Endgame where I hit a hurdle that I've seen hundreds, maybe thousands of commenters talk about in the history of PoE2, where I wasn't getting any good drops. I was gated by support gems. I just was not lucky at all. And all my solutions were like, okay, yeah, you got to go trade for it. Okay, you got to go trade for it. And something internally inside me was just like, man, that feels so bad. I know it's a loot based game. I know that they balance around the economy, but something was nitpicking in my head where I was just not having fun with the tools that I was given in the game. And usually in PoE 1 for the longest time, not really true in PoE 2. We only have had one great league mechanic in my opinion. The league mechanic is your catch up mechanism. If you're not getting good drops from the base game, you sure as heck can run the league mechanic and get something to boost your build. And that wasn't happening with Fate of the Val. So I found myself sitting at the foot of this mountain, unable to climb it. And it just felt bad. So did you have you ever run into that in the past? And do you think I'm being a little bit of a, I don't know, am I being too strong headed for not refusing to kind of cede over to trade? And I think a lot of people share this sentiment where it's like, ah, man, trade is the solution in all cases. It's not fun.
So, in my opinion, everything that you just said makes perfect logical sense. And actually, it was the same experience that I had. I think I just had a little bit of a different reaction to it than other people. And here's why. So, if we go back to last league, or not even last league, just the entirety of PoE2, the thing that a lot of ARPG players, that maybe didn't start in PoE2 that play some of the other ones. It's really all of them. It's not just people think I'm just targeting D4. It's not just D4. It's actually all of them. It's also happens to last epoch. People are begging for an end game. Some people don't even like redoing the campaign over and over.
Yeah.
And we need a we need all of the things that you talked about. We need it to be a smooth and steady progression. We need a lot of content to actually get through. It has to be fun. It has to synergize very well with the seasonal mechanic. And since it's been a problem with PoE2, everybody knows it. All of the players and grinding gear games knows that that's the big problem. The fact that they announced a week before that we weren't getting an end game update, I think that people somehow thought, well, we have Druid now, so Druid and the Val Temple, that's what's going to save the end game. But like Fubgun and I we were chatting with DM and Gazzy one day before it started. We're just like, the end game is the same issues that they have a mega patch to fix is not here. So unless the Val Temple is the greatest thing that Grinding Gear Games has ever made, which it actually wasn't, and unfortunately, especially in the end game, it was extremely subpar.
Yeah.
I don't know how people. I was a little bit surprised that people thought it was going to go any different. The end game didn't change. We don't have that part of the patch. That's why my review, I put one line in my video where I say, you didn't update the end game, and it's your biggest problem. It's a huge miss, and we're disappointed. But let me grade all of your other stuff, not including that. That's where I can find some wins when I don't mix the two
Right.
together. But I wouldn't blame everybody else who's just playing the game for fun. They're not analyzing, they're not compartmentalizing all the different mechanics and thinking, well, which one's good, which one's bad, and is that okay or not? They just log in and they want to play and they want to have fun. And if you don't deliver on that, even Jonathan's own words, then they have a right to be mad at you for not delivering it.
Right. No, that you touch on something that's really true for me at least. I was one of those people who was like, "Oh, that really sucks the end game's not getting touched." Does that really matter? They have the Druid, they have this really in-depth system that they're adding. Oh, it was laid out so well. They assuaged fears about it not being rewarding and it being a huge supplement to the end game. This is still going to be great. I'm still going to have a bunch of fun. And so I found myself going very quickly through my favorite part of the game right now, the campaign. I did like a 12-hour campaign. I was like, "Oh, wow. I'm impressed at myself." And I was like,
That's very
time
good. Yeah.
time to actually do like Fate on a Druid build, just like throwing crap together. And I was like, time to, interact. The Fate of the Val mechanic in the campaign, it's like the bait and switch because it was so freaking rewarding to someone like myself. You're getting exalted orbs, you're getting quality on your weapon. I have like a 20% quality weapon in Act 1. I was like, whoa, this huge damage. Wow, I cannot wait to see how this scales in the end game. And then I started doing the little pads and nothing was dropping for them. And I was like, oh, that's weird. These were dropping like uncut gems and currency. And then I got into the temple and I would clear a room and it would say room completed. And there's no bench. And I'm like, oh, okay, unlucky. Room completed, no bench. Tier 3 room completed. Okay, here's something to do with corruption. Oh gosh, do I want to corrupt one of the items that I have? I don't have like a backup item because I'm not getting great loot and I don't have currency to spend. And I'm like juggling all, and that's when I realized like, oh man, I am not having fun. Why am I going to continue to play if I'm not having fun? And I think it all has to do with that post-campaign loop that you talked about, the progression that they have to nail. I feel like they've done a pretty decent job on the campaign if you're interacting with all the systems, and I think there's a lot there. There's a lot to like upgrade your gear between the actual loot drops and the shops and the gambling and even the league mechanic this time. But once you hit the end game, it just fell apart for me, and I was like, why? Well, why am I doing this? I'm just not going to do it. I had fun on the Druid. With the shiny toy, I'm done playing with it. I'm already done with the shiny toy. So, yeah, fascinating.
So the phenomenon that you described about
Yeah,
how the Val Temple changed for you in the end game, about how, well, when you're in the campaign, you're getting little exalts, you're qualitying your gear, you're socketing your gear. It's a huge power boost. And not only that, like something that I talked about like in my feedback video, it teaches new players how to craft,
Yes.
which is really great. Like it teaches you, oh, here's how to make your items great. It honestly reminds me of Path of Exile One's Val Temple. So I, I'm still kind of new to Path of Exile One. I guess been playing it for 2 years. I guess that's still that's considered new around here. Um, but like the Val temples, the really the only way that I ever hear anybody talking about them in any capacity is at the end of the league when you get them to double corrupt your mage bloods and you double corrupt your headhunters and you're trying to just hit, the multi-mirror ridiculous stuff for fun, right? And like that mechanic, as I see it, is mostly just like one little niche part of Path of Exile. Like if you want to make, I've never really heard anybody for currency doing that as the main strategy. They're doing like strong boxes or something. But if Grinding Gear Games, this league, is releasing something similar to that, where the cool thing is like the corruption, or the cool thing is the boss drops, which require you have to do 6 rounds to make a temple. And then how many of those temples do you have to build to even reach the boss one time? It can't be that. If this is your only new activity, there's no end game. You can't give us an activity that only is like very niche for like corruption. It
Right.
has to be self-sustaining on its own. It has to be very exciting right away and very profitable, or people are going to tune out from it immediately.
Yeah. And another point here too, I liked your new player point. It is a good way to introduce them to crafting and not allowing them to take the currency so they hoard it. They have to use it right then and there. That was smart. That was laid out pretty smart. And I think they've updated it so that once you're past Act 3, now you can take it. So you're a little bit more acquainted with the game. Very smart. Another point on the temple that left me remiss was, yes, opening weekend, I blast. I probably played on day one as much as you did. I played as much as a lot of other people. Like I played, I think 12 hours on day one. Very, very fun. Day two, I think I played for like 8 hours or something. Day three started to trail off, mostly because I hit the end game. But that would happen anyway if I was enjoying the league. And it would, at least for me, it would trail from blasting the weekend, playing 25 hours to then 1 to 2 hour play sessions 2 or 3 times a week, maybe max, for me personally. That's like how much time I can dedicate past league launch. I feel like a lot of players are in that boat as well. And the whole temple mechanic where you have to like work a lot to build up your temple many times over, running the same set of rooms over and over, like upgrading them to get to this finale of like the finale is at Zeri. And I heard DM talking about it. He's like 47 hours to my first attempt. I died. It was one shot. That was it. It was one shot at it. Like that also feels bad. And one of the big points of feedback I've seen to my critique on that is, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this for PoE2 specifically, especially because you've come from D4. This game is not for you. You should not play this game. If you can't dedicate 3, 4, 5 hours a day on this game, why are you even caring? Like I'm getting it as a content creator, but I know a lot of other people are probably in my same boat. Do you think there's room for both under the same roof? I think there is. I don't think there's this whole myth of like, oh yeah, Diablo 4 is only for the dad gamers with 10 jobs, 30 kids, blah, blah, blah. I feel like games can cater to all these niches and you don't need to like go giga niche. Do you feel that way with PoE 2 as a relatively new PoE player, past 2 years, so.
I don't buy into that
I
at
don't
all.
either.
Like actually zero. Like I think it's 0 out of 100 true. I think it's completely false. The whole idea that you have to build a game for the casual players or you have to build a game for the people that play all the time. I actually don't know. I don't know where it comes from. However,
Hmm.
there's I think a phenomenon that occurs that I think people might be describing, which I think is true. It's very hard to make a game that's excellent for both. The difficulty for grinding gear games or 11th hour gaming or for Blizzard to hit both is very difficult. But whenever one mark is missed on either side, you'll hear about it endlessly. And another myth that I think is fairly strong, like not completely. It exists a little bit. Is people say that the people that are more casual like such different things from the blasters, and I that's another thing that I don't really buy into. I think a lot of the things that we like are similar. um I don't know, like on that
Yeah.
particular topic, I actually don't really know where it comes from. I just think the difficulty of the gaming companies to try to strike that perfect balance
Yeah.
and hit it everywhere is very difficult. Otherwise they just simply do it, right? They would just do it.
Right. I wonder, at least, so trying to self-analyze, which is what I've tried to do the past few days, like be a little bit introspective. What triggered it for me, like my frustration, was that I felt like I had one path forward, like trading in the game, right? And that path required me to invest a bunch of time solely dedicated to like amassing currency and joining in on a rat race. Because I was gated by RNG. Like I was unlucky, which led me to rely on this system and to interact with this system. I then had to participate in something which I always tell people, screw it. You're not competing with people anyway. Like you don't need to worry about divs per hour. I'd never do that. I just play the game for fun and I'm fine. And then I found myself in the scenario where I'm like, shoot. I can't get any item. I'm not getting any items. I need to buy everything from trade. I was gated by support gems, and I know they're 1x for like 10, but I had like greater jeweler's orbs, and I had no uncut support gems. And I'm like sitting here thinking, this is like a fundamental game. So why do I have to trade with other players to experiment with my skills? Like, I know this sounds petty, but I was literally sitting there thinking that, like, kind of grappling with it, like frustrated. And I don't know. I think you bring up a great point. Just like it is very hard to get that balance, and I think that GGG is trying to strike that balance. And sometimes when they miss, like they have with like this big new edition, Fate of the Vow, it just becomes so evident to some players, which is why I think you've seen like a lot of, at least me, I've seen a lot of negative feedback. I saw happiness day 1, day 2. Some people talking about the clunk of the druid. But day 3 onward, I mean, it's been majority like negative feedback, and not just on places that are usually negative, in like my personal Discord, talking to my friends, or on my videos, which are usually pretty positive places. A lot of people have that sentiment. That's something that you've noticed, like as more people finish the campaign, which I think is enjoyable to a lot of people, and they get to this part of the game, or they just bounce. They're like, oh man, this isn't fun. I'm just bouncing.
I think everything after the campaign for most people, unless they, picked a build that they already knew was really good, or they picked a really good new archetype, I think
Mm,
everything just got strictly worse, right? The
yeah,
Val mechanic was valuable in the campaign.
yeah,
Now it's borderline useless without this patch in the end game. And the end game is unchanged, and the end game is universally agreed upon to be the worst part about the
yeah.
game. So there were no opportunities for the feedback to improve. And then when we talk about, our theory that,
Mm,
well, uh the casuals and the blasters can be happy in the same patch, it's the same problem.
yeah,
The instant that grinding gear games announced that the end game wasn't coming, every single blaster, at least 90% of them, were disappointed. It doesn't matter how shiny of a druid that we get if we're doing the same end game that's been broken for a year. That's already lost. And then for the more casual players, the druid had some issues early on, as you described it, some clunkiness. People had. I put the blame, mostly on the player here because they made it as easy as possible. But a lot of people were asking me questions in the first 20 minutes, like, Raxx, how did you get your bear auto attack? It's
oh.
like, well, you pick up the talisman and you have to click the bear icon. And people were like, I don't have a skill. They're like running around. I'm like, all right. At a certain point, it's not grinding gear game's fault.
Yeah.
But then again,
Yes.
you wonder, well, is it their fault or whatever? But the clunkiness of the druid, the fact that the druid was very squishy. I mean, when you got on your bear with nothing, like you kill the bloated miller and you go to the second zone, did you like get bit by a wolf as you went to go punch them? Like they hit you really hard. It's like,
Mm,
bro, I'm a bear. Like, I understand I don't have any items, but
Yeah.
am I really this squishy? Um, and so the point I'm trying to make is there were a lot of things holding back the casual players as well. Even with the
Yeah.
new shiny druid, it didn't feel great for a lot of people in the beginning. And even if they build up to something that feels kind of good, it's all about, generating the charges so you can do this. It's all about generating the rage so you can spend it on this. It's
Yes.
spawning the icicles behind the boss so you can combo and pull them forward and then it will do damage. It's about the extra wolves that they built that do less damage than a skeletal warrior from an infernalist, which are considered absolutely useless. It's less than useless. It's like, so the blasters were shut off right away in the announcement, and then the casuals had a lot of opportunities to be shut off right away with the new shiny toy.
Yeah.
It's understandable that everybody like that the feedback was overall negative.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's pretty sensible. Yeah, I was squishy, by the way, in Act 1. Oh my gosh, yeah, that was rough. That was the roughest section, I think, for the bear. I was getting
Yeah.
chonked very heavily. On the bear.
So
Oh, go for it.
real quick on
Yeah.
that point that you said, real quick. That is another issue that they talked about in the campfire, exactly what you just said. You're really squishy in the campaign because you don't have gear. The game is so unbelievably gear dependent that, you know, it, walking out of the town when you have no items and you have no money, you're going to get fried until you put some items on. And if you don't upkeep on your weapon, you're not going to do any damage.
We're on the same wavelength because I was literally going to segue into a question about exactly this. Gear dependency in the game, man. It's been a year. We last talked a little bit, I think a month into early access, so it's been about a year. This has been a common point of feedback. A lot of 80-85% of power seemingly is baked into your gear. A lot of it is baked into your weapon. And they've been asked about this quite a few times. Seems like they kind of shelve it when they're asked about it. They kind of say, "Oh, well, not as much as you're saying is baked in, we want them to be important. We want the chase to occur." If you go back and you look at honestly any other ARPG, a lot more power is baked into deterministic ways. Your passive points in like Diablo 4 and in PoE 1, your ascendancies are, I think, way more powerful and effective than in PoE 2. What are your thoughts, one, on whether this is a proper balance to strike in PoE 2, and why do you think they're resistant to this feedback from players that they feel like it's like getting your character stronger is gated behind so much RNG or just such a mastery of game knowledge that you're able to overcome it? Because I'm not going to say that someone like Ben isn't going to be able to easily gear up, right? Like, if Ben's in my scenario where I'm frustrated as all heck, he's probably going to find a way to make his character powerful enough to get over that hump. I'm not. So, what are your thoughts on this whole whole debacle?
I'll start with something that might be a little bit surprising, but I think that this is very, very true. And I think that this is not thought of or considered enough. I think grinding your games on a ton of different aspects of the game, even ones that really make me mad and frustrated right now, they're actually really close to the right answer. It's everything. It's everything from like you said you didn't have support gems and you couldn't try other builds. Well, they could literally add maybe one extra support gem every whatever 3 maps, and that would have given you enough. Maybe after you do
Right.
10 maps, you got 3 extra ones, yada yada
Yeah, yeah,
yada.
yeah.
So when I approach like a situation like, oh, you have too many generator spenders, or you have too many kiss curses, or the your weapon and your gear is so much more powerful than your ascendancy or your passive tree. I think all of those things are true, and I think they're not correctly balanced, but I don't think grinding your games is that far off. Sometimes
Mm,
I hear people say, like, this needs to go way this way or way that way. Path of Exile 2, in a lot of different ways, plays very well, even with these imbalances.
mm,
So I think if they were just able to hone in on the specific changes that they thought needed to be made and shifts a couple of things here or there. I think a lot of that is needed, a lot of little changes to a lot of the different balances of the different mechanics and interactions of the game. But I can think of very few things that are just so far off that they're unrecoverable. But
That's
to
true.
answer, go ahead.
I
Sorry.
was just gonna say I think that's true. I think it's just a whole bunch of little things that like add up and they seem so big in your head. If you said something about, oh, we're obsessing over all these, right? Like we're playing these games a lot comparatively to like a normal person, and we obsess over all these little things, and they become big in our heads, a lot bigger than they actually are. Just a lot of tweaks that we've been talking about for so long. And we're like, oh, if only this little change were made, it would be fine. And yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
There have been things in the past that are just like actually just completely wrong, like towers, like the whole everything about I think I made a video one time like a year ago where I said like towers are the worst mechanic, like not only in Path of Exile 2 but maybe in any air, like they don't work at all. The layout, remember when we had to they had you couldn't see because they had the roofs over their heads and you had to run to a second floor and they had no mechanics in them. I mean, yeah.
Baseball.
Um, but another thing that is a slightly different topic than what we were talking about before. We were
Yeah.
talking about like, can you make an ARPG for casuals and
Yeah.
blasters and have it be the same thing? One thing that you can't get away from is the basic identity of the development of the game. Let me give you an example. So, Diablo 4 is very strongly built to be kind of an easy game, right? It's an
Mm-hmm.
easy game. You smooth through sail through the content smoothly. That's what it's designed to be. Let's take a game that got an announcement today, No Rest for the Wicked. It's supposed to be the opposite. It's a Souls-like ARPG. You have like a one-on-one battle that takes 60 seconds with a grunt, and that's the design of the game. One thing that Path of Exile 2 clearly has in its development, at least in terms of building your character, is they put friction hoops in building your
Yes.
character. They want you to have to solve a generator spender, a kiss curse, your mana issues, your different resource issues, rage, glory. They want you to have essentially absolutely nothing and kind of grind your way and then end up with a beautiful automated build that can detonate everything, which is possible on multiple archetypes. So a lot of times when people are discussing PoE2, they're discussing like, "Oh, this is so bad for new players, da 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 da." It's like, no, it's not that it's so bad necessarily for new players. It's that a lot of you just don't like that style of play. When people compare PoE2 to Diablo, there's some people that are on polar opposite ends because some people don't want to have all that friction with building their character and going through the game. That's I think where a lot of these comments stem from.
Yeah. I think that's good analysis. I've often talked about like in PoE 1, you get that godliness on your character, I think, really, really quickly. I always
Yes.
say it's at the end of Act 1 when you're getting Leap Slam and you get like your first big clearing ability. I always play like Sunder to level a lot of the time. So you're literally after Merveil, you are just Leap Slamming, Frostblink, bam, pounding packs, blowing everything up. It's very smooth. That is not the curve of PoE 2. And I know we're harping on it again. And I know a lot of people disagree with me on this, but I feel like it's so good through the campaign, and then it just falls off in the end game, which is such a big part of PoE. It's especially for someone who like understands the game and knows the bosses, and you know how to make a build, you know how to slot things together. You will get through the campaign very quickly. I know some of you might be laughing at me saying it takes me 30 hours. Okay, once you've done it a few times, once you don't die at all, once you're like killing the boss, it's quick. And I'm just going to keep going back to it. I was so wrong, Raxx. I was so blind because I was like, doesn't matter. The Druid's going to be great. The Fate of the Bell is going to be great. I'm going to have a great time. And I'm not going to play probably more than another like 5 or 6 hours the rest of the league given the current state. It's like so crazy to have that sort of realization. on my end because that's never happened to me before. I know. I
Plant Druid will save you, man. Plant Druid.
Plant
Trust
Druid.
me.
Okay, well maybe I will try Plant Druid. Wolf was really fun too. Like the gameplay. That's the other thing. I like the gameplay. It's I don't know. It's so weird. Okay, Raxx, were you how what did you feel like with like Diablo 4? Did you kind of feel this sort of what happened there? Because I was thinking about it, I was like, it's kind of sad. I remember watching your state of videos and it was like I think it was one patch. It was like day one where you just released it and you're like, I played for a few hours. I'm done. I had that to a a lesser degree, but can you do you relate to that feeling? What did you feel like? I guess is what I'm trying to get at. I don't know because it's not like an I'm moving on, I'm done. It's like I'm burnt out. I need a break. That's what I'm feeling like right now.
So I definitely know how you feel. The thing for Diablo 4 for me is a lot of it is actually self-inflicted. I don't think people realize how many characters I made in Diablo 4. Like, I used to level to 100. I had like
Yes.
55 100s. So, but the reason why I have 55 100s is because there's nothing to do, right? So I'm twiddling my thumbs, just waiting for something to do. The most fun I ever had in Diablo 4 by far, by a mile. And I understand this does not apply to most people, but the most fun I ever had was pre-season 1 fighting Uber Lilith. She killed me like 400 times before I killed her. That was the most fun I ever had logging in and just getting ravaged by her the hit boxes and how like you had to play like perfectly for like 10 straight minutes to kill her. And to me, I was like, man, if this is the first pinnacle boss that they have, I'm so excited for all the future seasons to see like it'll be so cool when someone gets this world first kill. It's like a World of Warcraft thing. It's like someone killed this boss. It's like that's unbelievable. How did you do that? Uh can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. You froze for a moment. You're good. You're back.
Okay. I think my internet might be dying, but
Oh
I'll
goodness.
just keep talking. I'll just keep talking. It's okay. Everything's like spinning here for me, but
Okay.
so I was just I I knew how to level up. I played every archetype 1,000 times. I've done every color of Helltide that has been in the rainbow a billion times. I can't tell you how many times I killed Duriel, and I'm just sitting there waiting season after season after season after season. Like please give me something to do, and then we get like this season you can do 3 nightmare dungeons in a row, and then there's one extra affix, and at the end there's a chest that gives you more loot. It's like I can get all the loot in a day. Like that, I don't
Right.
want more loot. And I've been doing 3 nightmare dungeons since in a row since I was a baby in a crib. That's I just when I'm done with a nightmare dungeon, I already plug the next dungeon. It goes back to what we talked about earlier about how you're developing the game.
Mm-hmm.
They develop the game for the masses. That's what the direction has been, and that's fine. But after making 55 characters and just waiting for the next Uber Lilith, waiting for something, it just never came. And eventually, you just give up. I go to PoE1 and I'm so dog shit. I don't understand anything. And there's so many bosses, and then there's Uber bosses, and there's T17s, and then there's Valdo maps. And then if you can somehow do all that, then you can go to Delve, which is even harder. It's like I'm just like a kid in a candy store. I'm like,
Yeah.
I've been begging for this forever. And so that's where just kind of like people think I hate Blizzard. No, I don't. People think I hate Diablo 4. No, I don't hate Diablo 4. I just want something to do, which is why I pull the blankets up and I shiver at night when I saw their expansion video and they said all new endgame war paths, and then
Mm-hmm.
they made a path of 5 activities that we already do. It's like we have a laundry list of the activities that we're already doing, and that's what we're doing in the expansion. It's like I hope that that's not it, but I mean, it's been multiple years. So this is why, like, when Path of Exile says, I have a gigantic end game patch that'll change everything, and then the season comes out and they say we're delaying it 3 months. Bro, waiting 3 months for me for it is
You're
fine
good.
compared to what we've been doing.
Exactly, exactly. No, your perspective makes a lot of sense there. 55 level 100s. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot.
I mean, I'm a loser. What can I say?
uh as my old thumbnail said, best teacher around, man. People freaking love your videos. You make games a lot better for a lot of people. Obviously. Come on, you have a plushie of yourself. You can't call yourself a loser when people are buying plushies of you. Look, there you go. I don't know, is it still available?
It is. You want to know what's the weirdest thing
Okay.
about it?
Yeah.
So they're custom made. So you
Yep.
pre-order. By the way, they'll probably make one for you as well. You're probably gonna get contact by them.
Oh,
If you want a little, are you gonna make like a little triceratops or
crap.
what?
If they do, I will, but that'd be crazy. I don't think anybody would buy that. It's a Triceratops.
I would buy one.
Yeah,
People would
the
buy it.
Raxx plushie is unique. There are lots of Triceratops plushies out there. I'd have to do something crazy, but the Raxx,
No,
it's
no,
a
no.
one in a. I mean, it's unique. It's unique. It's, no, nothing else like that exists out there. So
It is pretty creepy. People have shared with me a couple of different things that they plan to do with the doll. I'm like, man, I would have
oh,
probably preferred to not hear that, but I guess you do you, buddy. People are gonna stab it as a voodoo doll, see what
oh
happens.
no.
Anyway, that it's all good. We'll see what happens. If I
Yep.
magically die when they ship, we'll know why. But I mean, it's easy to teach something that you've done 5,000 times, right?
Right.
So it's just,
Right.
Here I go. We're leveling to 100 again today, boys. Waiting for the end to get patched.
Hey, people need to know. They need to know, just like they need to know how to change into a bear and do the bear auto attack. All right, that needs to
Click the
happen.
bear icon on your talisman.
Yes,
I'm here all
exactly.
day.
Good job. Good job. Okay, shifting gears back to Path of Exile 2 for actually just in general. You did, and yeah, this is kind of a spicy question coming from me of all people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You recently did an interview with the Diablo 4 devs. Okay,
Yeah.
right? That
I
was
remember
fun.
that one.
I'm
Yeah.
curious. I don't know if this is true or not, but I saw some people talking about that in stream. You said, "Oh, I'm never going to do another one of these." I'm curious. Were you talking about Diablo 4 or just like developer interviews? What has been your experience with interviewing developers? Because I know you did it with, I think, Judd and Carve, or the EHG devs once, and then you did it with the Blizzard devs. I've had experiences of a sort. I'm curious what yours are in your perspective on content creators giving interviews.
All right. I'm just gonna tell you honestly,
Yeah,
right?
seriously. Yeah, go for it.
I'll just be honest with you.
Yep.
So, first of all, I really like Colin and Zavin, who I interviewed. Those guys are great. They're blasters. They know games. Like Colin, I don't. Did you watch the D4 interview,
I
or do you
watched.
know?
Well, I watched some of it. Thanks to a certain someone who might still be in the chat. Shout out to Frosty.
Right, oh, okay, yeah, okay, right. Um, so here's the thing. So I'll give you a little context on the Blizzard interview and how that all spilled over,
Okay.
and then I'll give you context on
Yeah.
the broader side. So for the Blizzard interview, they said, "Do you want to interview Colin and Zav?" And I'm like, "That's who I would love to talk to. Yeah, that sounds great." And I asked them, I said, just to speak in plain English, a lot of the Blizzard interviews are very soft, right? Like at the end of their campfire, they're
Right.
like, people are wondering the cosmetic for the horse that you showed, is it going to be available in different colors? Like that's the questions that they usually ask. And
Actual
so
softball, by the way, guys. That's an actual softball. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
yeah, so I I I actually asked them ahead of time. I said, "Can I ask you, like, for lack of a better word, some very challenging questions? Like, I'm going to ask you questions like, the last expansion, the class was completely bugged, and we fought Mephisto's dog as the final boss. Um, people do not have a faith that they should buy the next expansion. What learnings do you have, or what would you say to those people? Like, do you think that you've done enough for their upcoming expansion for people to buy it? Or
Right.
why is Diablo not in the game? Or we're asking every season for a lot more content that you're delivering and we're not getting it. Why? I said, can I ask you these difficult questions? And they said, yes. The moment they said yes, I made a video and I said, give me all the questions that you want. I compiled them, had like 50 questions. And I said this probably every day leading up to the interview. Every day in my stream, I said, guys, I've got tough questions for them and I'm going to ask them, but I'm not going to be rude or disrespectful to them in any way at all.
Hmm.
I like Colin and Zavin. They're not the problem. If you don't like Diablo 4, they're not the problem. So let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
Got to the interview and I asked them the questions. And I think, a lot of them they just can't answer. They're
Right.
just I don't know if it's because of their job working at Blizzard.
Hmm.
When we have a grinding gear games interview, we're talking to Jonathan and Mark. They can say whatever the
They get to
fuck they want.
choose.
They don't
Yeah, they're
care.
like,
They don't care at all. But it matters to them. So I asked, why is Diablo not in Diablo 4? And the response I got was, he's busy. On the question about like people don't have faith to buy the next expansion, like can you help me get some faith and why people should, continue with Diablo 4? Their response was, "Oh, you should definitely buy the next expansion." Then, so the interview ends, and people were like, they hated like the answers, and they say, "Raxx, why didn't you push back?" It's like, well, I told them we were going to ask very difficult questions, but when they give me that answer, that's them pseudo telling me they don't want to answer the question. Or maybe they're telling me they can't answer the question. Yes, I can be an asshole and I can go full offense. Uh, I'm I absolutely have that mode within me. I can do it, but it just didn't pan out the way that I wanted it to. And then there's so many Reddit threads. Raxx failed us. Raxx is a piece of shit. Worst interview ever. And then, so here's the part where I'm sure you're going to understand this completely. I actually heard you talking about this earlier, like an hour earlier.
hmm.
People don't understand that they think that we just sit down and we just hit play and we just do whatever the fuck we want and it's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and it's puppies and rainbows. I'm not saying streaming is like a hard job or anything. It's one of the easiest jobs. That's not what I'm saying. But just for this interview, for example, you feel a lot of pressure. Like everyone's waiting for Raxx to interview Diablo 4 because Raxx is so mad and he's ready. And like the questions I asked them are pretty fucking difficult, way more difficult than any interview I think they've ever had. But we just didn't get the answers for it. And then people don't understand, like you're thinking about it all week and you make a YouTube video, you read every comment, you make a Word doc, you write down all the things, you mix and match it, you align it in a nice little like agenda to talk to them. You know all these things because you make videos, you do interviews, you know this probably better than anybody. And then when everyone's just so mad at you, you sit there and you come to the conclusion, you want to know what's way easier? It's way easier for me to just sit here and watch Ziggy D interview them. It's so much easier. I'll just sit here, I'll just make my stupid little summary video. And man, now it actually is Willy Wonka. Now I'm not actually doing anything.
Hmm.
And I don't want to just like deflect all of the responsibility. It's not like,
Yeah.
oh, I did perfect and everyone's stupid for thinking that I didn't.
Right.
It's just I don't know. I don't know what I can do other than ask them the tough questions. Like maybe I should have pushed back harder or pressed them further. I probably should have, but I didn't think it would get us any answers. If I did think it would have, I would have done it. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I, I totally agree with you. Yeah, I've been in that boat too. You do beat yourself up like in post, and a lot of like when I chat with the devs too. Sometimes I have, especially this not final, especially this last time. I think it was like the most like just is enlightening the right word? I guess enlightening experience. Maybe because I was just maybe hyperactive in the community and I was looking at the reception to it and everything. But I had that exact same feeling as you. Why the heck am I doing this? Because I am trying. I am trying really hard. I'm doing all the prep. I'm reading every comment. I'm reading all the questions. I tried to gather it from a variety of people, and everybody's just so pissed off and you were just trying to be respectful, get info for the community, yeah, 100% could push back more, could rephrase things, like you said in your interview with the D4 devs. But man, it just, I don't know, it has a huge mental toll on you. Unlike personally anything that has ever happened content wise, just yeah, it's rough. It was rough. So I feel that sucks for you. I did see people talking about like the D4 interview on like Reddit and everything, and I kind of scoff it off seriously because it's just like a lot of mad people. And then I say, oh yeah, just scoff it off, and then it happens to me, and I'm like, oh gosh. So I can only imagine how it feels. You know, it's like it's a choice, and I feel I'm more on your boat now of like, all right, well, if a lot of people don't like this, if people think I'm doing a bad job, if people are gonna talk mad shit about me, well, why do it anymore? Oh, people don't sub during the podcast. Oh my god.
Yes, it's mostly a lose-lose situation, but there is here's the difficult part. So
Yeah.
you get through that stage, right? And the difficult part is you should never let all the antagonists in your life
Mm,
dictate how you live your life. Should
right.
you should you should make your decisions based upon the people who are close to you and your friends and even the people who are just giving you honest, constructive feedback.
Yeah.
I remember I was watching your stream before the interview started, and I was looking at you scroll through your questions, and you had the Excel sheet. And I can't tell you how many Excel sheets, how many interview documents, like how many how many
Right.
templates I
Right.
built on Maxroll, da 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 da. And I'm looking at how you built your Excel sheet, and you made a comment like you had a YouTube video, you pulled a bunch of questions from Reddit, da da da, and I was reading like how you organized it in the different columns
Uh-huh.
that you made. I was sitting there, I was like, this took a shitload of work. As someone who's built stuff like this before, this is very nice. This interview is going to go well. Then someone in my chat, I still remember this, like 2 weeks later, someone said, "Did Rax just give Talkative Try a pat on the back for making an Excel sheet?" And I'm just like, dude, like, do you have are you like the dumbest person alive? Like, do you not
Oh.
understand
Oh.
how hard it is it's not like it's so difficult, but do you know how much time it takes to organize all of this data and make it into an agenda for an interview and then
Hmm.
execute it smoothly? Like a
Right.
lot of like the number one fear is not death or spiders, it's public speaking.
Oh god, dude. Yeah.
So most
It's
people can't do that to
crazy.
save their lives.
It's crazy, especially, and I know this is, I don't know, did you feel like this when you talked to like Colin, and the other guy's escaping me right now, but it's like, I wanted to be a game designer when I was growing up. Talking to someone who's made for if you guys complain about, I love the game. It's so much fun. I love Path of Exile 1, spent probably 1,000+ hours in it. Talking to like the people who designed the game, I don't know, it's just like so crazy cool. And I have to almost like go out of body when I'm doing it. And this is gonna sound like mad glazing, but it's like, that's crazy. How can you find yourself in a situation like this? Like you feel like privileged. You feel like this shouldn't be happening. You feel like I'm nowhere as near as smart as these guys. What the heck is going on? I'm not as smart as a lot of the people in the chat. I just am really excited and I like talking about this and I'm in this moment. What the heck is happening? Like that's what's going through my head in the moment. Um, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I wanted to ask you, would you ever consider doing an interview with GGG? Have you ever like reached out, or is that not something you would be interested in doing? Because that's a comment that I saw a lot and I kind of agreed with. Like for these interviews, maybe it isn't best for someone like we already have, really chill interviews with Siggy. Maybe there should be more interviews with like the people who are really into the, build crafting, guide making, really into the mechanics of the game. And I saw your name came up a lot, and a few of my other friends too. But I was curious: is that something you would ever be interested in, or no?
I would probably, yeah, as you said, be honored and humbled to talk to Grinding Gear Games. A long time ago, it's not any time recent. We were trying to schedule something, but they're always just so busy that they're
Right.
doing. They got to make the game right. It's been delayed twice. It just never panned out, and I think they're somewhat trying to make the rounds. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. I think it actually I made this comment to my stream the other day. I think it
Yeah.
goes like the opposite way than maybe some of the internet thinks it is. I don't have like I don't think of myself as some like big important person.
Yeah.
Like in fact, as I become more and more of an old, pardon my French, piece of shit, like if I disappeared from the content creation world tomorrow, it wouldn't make that it hardly make any difference,
Oh
if any
my
difference at all.
god. I
No,
I
but
can't
hold,
even. I can't.
I'm
I
not
don't
even.
know. It's so weird talking and hearing you say that, bro. I don't know. I played like one season of Diablo, and I listened to all your state of videos, and I think there's tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, who do the same thing. That is crazy talk. Too hyperbolic,
I
Raxx. Okay, some
no,
people
no,
wouldn't miss me. A lot of people would miss you. Though. Holy crap! Jesus, sorry for interrupting. I just had to.
no,
Oh
yeah, you're good, man. I appreciate you
yeah,
saying that, but I I am not sitting here thinking, man, it's so I can't believe they picked a talkative try for the interview over me. I am way more important. I never think like that. When you got the interview, I was like, dude, talkative try, dude, he loves PoE so much. He deserves
yeah,
it so much for all the time he's put into it. And people are like, talkative try is a noob. Why don't they get Ben to interview him? It's like, oh, dude, Ben would do a great job too. But guys, come the fuck on. Are you serious right now? So I don't know. If Grinding Your Games ever wants to chat with me, I'm sure it would be open to it. I would be honored for that. I don't think it would be received as poorly as last time because they are allowed to speak so freely. Like I would love to talk to
yeah.
Jonathan about, all right, Jonathan, you and I are on polar opposites of one thing. We need to have a 1 hour conversation about one button builds versus kiss curse, mana generation, go pick up this remnant, generate this rage. Power charges do nothing and take 1 hour to generate them in order to do 10 extra damage. Like, we need to talk about this for like an hour and see if we can come to some kind of middle ground because you're driving me fucking crazy over here.
That was like a rallying cry. I hear your legions outside my house, like waving your banner. I mean, you're speaking to the hearts of the people right now. So,
Waving the little plushie.
yes, waving the plushie around. They got him prop held up on a war banner. There you go. Yep, on a stand
Yeah.
over everything. Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay. What else? What else? Okay, yeah, I want to do it in the actual video too. Right after that interview, 2 hours after, I get a text from my dad. Okay, and my dad, bigger PoE2 player than me, and he texts me,
Okay.
just saw Rex's breakdown of your interview. It was really good, and I'm like, my wife is like, he didn't watch it. He watched Rex's breakdown, and he misspelled Rex's name and everything. But I don't know. It's just it was so surreal to see that. It was so fun. I had to send it to you immediately after. I was like, this is crazy. Okay. So, uh,
So I'm honored that your dad watched it and that he chose my or my summary over your interview.
I
That's
know.
I guess I'm the favorite son now.
It is true.
It's it's kind of the same thing. Like if I can just do it one more time, like the past question, bro. All I do is I just listen to the interview and I just write down what was said, and then I say what was already said, and I put it on YouTube. I mean, I don't know
Yep.
why anybody is proud of me. That is something literally anybody could do.
True.
I
True though.
I
I
don't
used
know
to do
why I
that.
get.
I used to do that all the time. Big videos, man. And it is nice. It's just you're chilling, you just listen, you write down, you make a Google Doc, and then you like just highlights. You just do it in like a calm way, and people are like, this is amazing. So,
Yeah, I
which
don't
it
know if
is.
people like it, but
I
I
listened
don't know
to
why I
it.
get any credit.
I listened to. I was working on. I was like, yeah. That I think that is what was said. Yeah, that's correct. Yep. So I literally watched it. So it was good. I do it.
It's exactly that. Yep,
Yes,
that is what I said.
that is
Yeah, an hour
correct.
ago. Oh, very good, very good. Yeah.
uh,
Oh man.
okay.
Oh,
I know we talked a little bit about Diablo 4. I had one like topical question.
yeah.
Paladin, like I've just been hearing mad praise about the Paladin, dude. Like I've had people saying, "All right, you're not feeling PoE2 right now? Okay, go check out the Paladin, man. It's actually really good." Did you play it? I think you did on launch day, and then you swapped to PoE2. Was it any good? Any thoughts on that for anybody out there?
I thought it was excellent. It
Yeah.
really was.
All right.
It felt very paladin-y. The hammers were frying, the zeal was frying. the righteous fire, like the holy burny stuff was there.
Yeah.
They did a good job. It's really fun. It's worth I think it's worth like you said you're gonna play Hollow Knight and you're gonna say
Yeah.
you're gonna play Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
I haven't 100 owed Baldur's Gate 3 yet, but I'm very far in that game. And I did 100 Silk Song.
Oh,
Those are
nice.
amazing games, but that's like a mega time investment for both. They're
Oh, you think
both huge games.
for a
So if
hundreding them? You think?
well, yeah, I mean, I guess they're huge games even if you don't
Even if I don't.
100 them.
Okay.
100 Baldur's Gate 3 is insanity. Like
Oh,
that,
100%. I took
yeah,
yeah.
that like Hollow Knight has different endings. And I don't mean like, oh, do you go in door A and you rescue the princess and B Bowser eats her? I mean like entire game opening endings.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay.
and Hollow Knight's challenging. Like I don't know
Yeah.
how confident you are in your gamer skills, but prepare to be torn a new one when you play Hollow Knight.
My
There's going to
biggest
be
exposure to Souls-like games is your 1 hour plus review of Elden Ring from like a year and a half ago. I'm pretty sure. I'm so bad at those games. So I'm ready for it though. I played Clair Obscur earlier this year, and it opened my gaming eyes. I just had enough time, and I'm like, if I'm not enjoying this PoE2 league, if the Gardener build doesn't hook me, then I'll just play some games on my backlog that I've had a lot of recommendations. And yeah, Hollow Knight was one, and then Baldur's Gate 3. Like my entire family has been saying you need to play this because I played BG1, BG2, played Neverwinter Nights. I was like playing CRPGs. That was what I played when I was younger, and
yeah.
I just didn't have Baldur's Gate 3 came out right when my second kid was born, so I didn't really have the time. Now I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I got maybe some free time late at night. I can chug through it, but I know it's big, really big. Did you finish the game or just just didn't 100 it?
No, I actually just ran out of time. The
Oh,
PoE 1 league started. I
right.
I got it was like 65 hours in, and I'm not even close to done.
Okay.
Uh, Baldur's Gate 3 is, by the way, Clair Obscur. You played that game. I thought that was one of the best games ever. You got
Insane, man.
yeah. If you're gonna play Clair Obscur and Hollow Knight Silk Song and Baldur's Gate 3 in the same year, that's gonna be
That's a
a
good year.
memorable year of gaming.
That's
Yeah,
a good year.
that's
Man, if I can, I have a little bit of time off. Maybe kids will sleep better after playing a ton with toys. Because Clair Obscur was one of those games where I sacrificed sleep. I was like, I need to continue playing. I need to see how the story ends. Oh, that was the first single player game I'd played in, like a decade to completion, and whew, that was good. It was very worthwhile. And now everybody in my house listens to the soundtrack all the time as well. So
the
it's great.
nostalgia kicks in.
Oh yeah.
Yes, the thing about Baldur's Gate 3
Hmm.
is I would make sure that you play that when you have like maybe now the league just came out and you say you're going to play another 5 hours and you're done. Maybe you go Baldur's Gate 3 first cuz you're going to need months
Okay.
to gnaw at it.
Big.
It's absurd how much content there is.
Okay. Maybe I'll take a knock at that then. Okay. Baldur's Gate 3. All right, and then there was one other thing, Raxx, that I wanted to talk to you about. Okay.
Let's go.
Did you hate tacos now? I thought you love tacos. You hate tacos?
Where do you get your information from,
Uh,
Talkative? We need to check your sources here.
chat told me you hate tacos. But my memory, I mean, I listened to our pod a few days ago. I thought we were talking about how you love Chipotle. We were bonding over that because I got obsessed over Chipotle during PoE2 early access release. I was getting a burrito a day from Chipotle, so for a few weeks there.
This guy knows.
Dude,
Uh,
holy crap. They were good. I have swapped my fast food though. I was curious if you are still getting the same stuff, or have you swapped up your tastes?
uh, so I've actually really don't eat that much fast food anymore, believe it or not. I make tacos all the time. I
Holy
still
crap. Okay.
yeah.
What kind of tacos?
Um, I have a pretty simple rule. Any taco except for a fish taco. No shrimp, none of that crap. I hate fish.
Ooh.
I like almost every food in the world, but no fish. People are like, well, what about sushi racks? No. Like,
No.
I don't want any fish, but any other kind. Carne asada, al pastor, carnitas, chicken, anything.
Whoa,
All of them are
you
the
have the
best.
pronunciation down. Holy crap, man. Nice. Very nice. That's good.
Half of my family is from Mexico. I'm half Mexican. My father was born in Monterrey,
Oh,
Mexico.
can you speak Spanish fluently?
Yo puedo
Yeah,
hablar más o menos. I can speak kind of. It was a huge miss. My dad should have only spoken Spanish to me when I was a kid, and then I
right.
would be fully fluent. He should have never
Exactly.
spoken English to me.
Yep.
I can speak. I can speak enough to get my point across.
Right,
Good
right.
enough to travel and stuff.
That's my mom. She's from Germany. She moved here when she was 18 and she speaks full German still. Never spoke to us as kids. I could be fluent in German right now. She didn't do it.
Eh,
She only
what a
said
miss.
Scheiße instead. She like cursed in German. So the only things I know are swear words in German. That's it. Nothing else.
I'm pretty
So
sure that's all there is, though.
yeah, swear
I,
words.
I, I
Oh,
built Max. I built Maxwell on Discord with a bunch of Germans. I'm pretty sure it's just a bunch of swear
just a
words.
bunch of swear. They sound
Yeah.
really vulgar. Like all the words. I mean, when she's talking to her sister on the phone, it's crazy. Like it sounds very. It's like two ends. It's like extremely serious or extremely vulgar and aggressive. Like the two
Yeah.
ends that I usually get from my mom. Very powerful language. So yeah,
The inflection is very
inflection.
serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good on you for not getting fast food a lot. I thought we were gonna have an in-depth chat because I
Oh,
swapped fast foods. I
it's
guess I
not
get
like
it
I've
more with kids.
forgotten. We can talk
Right.
fast food all day long.
Okay. All right. I don't know if you have this in your area or not, but I swapped from Chipotle to Pita Way. Are you aware of Pita Way? Is that where you are? Maybe anybody
I've
Pita
never
Way
heard.
fans? Okay. It's
Is this even a
Mediterranean.
real place? Did you just make this place up?
No, it's real. It's real, and it's a
I'm
franchise.
Googling it.
Okay. All right. Pita Way, dude. Holy crap.
Mediterranean grill, huh?
Mediterranean grill. It's like a create your own bowl or sandwich, and they have the freshest ingredients. They cook like the chicken right in front of you, right off the grill into your plate. It is like, as long as you don't drench your stuff in sauce, it is
Yeah.
extremely healthy and like filling, and you feel rejuvenated when you eat it. And if you bring your kids in, they give you free kids bowls, which are like half the size of a full bowl for free. And I'm like, this is crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
I'm
That's a killer deal for a family in this economy.
in this economy. So what we do, because my kids don't like it, right? So we'll go through and my wife and I will each get bowls, and then we'll get the two kids bowls for free, and we'll have like freaking dinner and lunch the next day. And you can just get like, okay, my kids are gonna get dark meat, and then we're gonna get gyro, and then like we can all, so it can be variety. Dude, best fast food hands down. You're in and out in like 3 minutes. Very efficient line. I haven't found anything to beat it yet. So big W.
If I see a Pita Way, I will, no matter how full I am or what life events are occurring, I will slam on the brakes. I'll go there and I'll try it, and I'll send you a video review on Discord. I
Good. Okay.
promise you. If I
Good.
ever see it, yeah.
Good. It's so worth it, man. I've tried other Mediterranean joints too, and this comes out ahead, even though it's like fast food. At least in my area, like it's better. We had a sit down place that they've screwed up my meat a few times, unfortunately, and then we found this place done in like a quarter of the time and way better. Oh, so yeah, highly recommend Pita Way. But you're doing the
Looks
right
pretty
thing.
healthy. It looks like a healthy Chipotle bowl.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it is. It is. As long as you don't like say, also a side of hummus, please, and you get a freaking jar of hummus to just pour, which I may have done in the past once. Oh.
Yeah, somebody has a grilled chicken salad for lunch, and then they get the double-decker nachos for dinner as a reward, because as long as they had a salad for lunch, it counts.
There you
Kind of deal.
go. There you go. Right. 100%. 100%. All right. Well, Raxx, dude, it has been so fantastic talking to you as always, man. Thanks so much for coming on the pod. Was there anything else PoE2 or otherwise that you wanted to chat about?
No, I guess the only final question I'd
Yeah.
like to ask you is, how are you doing, man, for real? Like,
Yeah.
I know this is maybe one of the first times you've been really frustrated and burnt out, and if you want to get something off your chest, I'm listening. Tell me tell me how it's going. Content
Yeah.
to content.
Yeah.
Creator.
Content creator. And I talked about this a little earlier on stream. Yeah. It's really unfortunate that, I'm kind of known. It's a meme as being the positive person who's never said a bad word about GGG ever in his life, and I just released a scathing review of the patch, and I'm just not enjoying it. I think it's partially in-game reasons and partially out of game reasons. So in November of last year, I think that's when I first reached out to you to kind of like hop on, like do this. I did like a hype train where I tried to talk to a bunch of creators and get their opinions on the game, whether they, were grinders or just kind of casual, tiny creators, massive creators like yourself, lots of different opinions. Don't laugh, Raxx. Come on, don't laugh. And that kicked off in November. And I don't know if I ever said this publicly, but I told like my wife and myself, all right, you're going to grind. You're going to grind for like a year. Cause I also have a real job. So I do this like on the side at night or on weekends, or I say, okay, sweetie, I got to go do this news video or I got to get ready for this. Right. And I have ground for like a year side by side. And I think finally I have like reached the end of my rope essentially. And I've kind of realized it's not enough to sustain. One, it's not enough to sustain being a full-time thing, and two, is this even something that I really want to do? And I guess I don't want to draw you in, but I will make vague allusions to it. Like the past week and a half, 2 weeks, just seeing the reaction from a pretty sizable part of the community of the game that I would do this for, right? Because let's be real, when you become a content creator and you've made your content based on one game, you got to stick to that game and you got to make content for the game for a long time before you can like swap to other games, I think, or just have a huge like cult of personality, which I don't have. After seeing like how some people think about me in the community very publicly, I'm like, I don't want to hinge my family's success and safety on that. Is crazy when I have a stable job. I'm making more than enough money. I have health care. I have all this stuff going for me. Why would I take the gamble for something that I would love to do, you know, and risk my family? So I kind of had all those realizations in the past like 2 weeks leading up to the patch, and then I don't like the patch, and then I'm like, oh my god, now I'm gonna have to release like a negative video, and I've got 800 videos on my channel, and none of them are negative. Like a crazy string of events here. So I guess I'm doing okay. I did a lot of introspection, but I definitely am in like kind of a little bit of a sucky situation just for the channel, right? Because it is, I feel like a lot of people really see themselves as wanting to do this, and I did for a long time too, but I kind of had that realization like this would not be a good idea for my family or myself probably. I would probably get burnt out even more and even more jaded than I already am. So okay, that was my big tirade. Yes, that's how I'm feeling right now. Thank you for asking.
So, can I give you some words of encouragement on some of the
Yes.
things that you just said?
Yeah, go for it.
So, the sequence of events that you described,
Yeah.
almost identically, like the situation is a little bit different, is something that I went through, like exactly the same thing about 2 years ago. So, when I had my 55 level 100 characters, and I was sitting there, and I had made the promise to blast this Diablo 4 game for a long time, and a lot of people thought of me as the Diablo guy or whatever you want to call it. Um, I was sitting there with a realization of like this isn't sustainable for me because I'm just not happy and it's not worth it for me.
Mm.
And as you alluded to, becoming a variety Andy or whatever is the death of any
Right.
channel. Like
Right.
you might as well just hang it up. It never works. And then what I ended up doing is just out of nowhere, I just stopped playing Diablo 4 and I just fired up a stream and I started playing Last Epoch. I never played it before. It hadn't even been released yet. I'm like, I'm just going to play this game. And you would be surprised how many of my audience it's not even like my audience was wanting me to not play Diablo 4 or they weren't wanting me to play Last Epoch. It's they were wanting to see me like happy again. Like they want to see
Yeah.
me like they see the fatigue and they see that things are weighing on you. Unless you're the greatest actor ever, you really can't hide it. And
Yeah.
they just like the core audience that you have, they just want to see you actually having fun again and gaming.
Hmm.
Then I started playing PoE 1, and I started playing PoE 2, and then I played Claire, then I played Hollow Knight, and then I played Baldur's Gate 3. You're literally going through the same
Yeah.
midlife crisis, questions in your head, da 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 da. But the thing about it is I think a lot of the things that you are like, I think of it like, you know, in Mario, the original Mario game, the guy above you with the rain cloud that follows you
Yep.
around the level that
Yeah.
just throws
Yep.
bombs at you the
Mhm.
whole time. It's like you have that above your head where you're like, okay, I've committed to do my job and the content creation for a year straight, and I'm going to do it. And I'm the positive guy, and I have to make this many videos, and I have to do this many interviews, and I have to prepare, and I also have to take care of my family, and I have to do well at my job, and I can't let my job suffer at all because that's the main thing. Da 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 da. I would I would recommend for you to abolish these bury the little Mario cloud above you entirely and just say it like if it works for you, obviously, you have to talk
Yeah.
with your family. Create content the way that you want to. And another thing I'll tell you, another word of encouragement. I I had a chat with someone very high up at Blizzard recently, and I literally, you know, we're talking behind closed doors. I literally told him, I said, I opened with I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I make these videos where I'm so mad at Diablo 4. I'm so mad that we don't get the end game. Um, I can't play because literally I can't play, and my audience it turns so toxic because now a lot of a lot of the people that watch me now they really like Path of Exile and they moved on from Diablo and they hate it. And when I play Diablo, it's their opportunity to hate it again. But you want to know what he said to me? I bet he would say the same thing to you that grinding your games would say to you if you haven't talked to him yet. He said, we love talking to you because we know when we do a big like internal presentation on the Discord, you're going to be the one who critiques it. You're going to be the one who says that's not going to work. That's not what they want. And that's valuable. Like the people who just sit around and say yes, who are positive, even you know that meme with the dog, everything is fine. And they're
Yes.
just sitting there like everything's fine when it really isn't. I think that you making this video saying that you're normally very positive, but this league sucks is some of the best feedback that they could have gotten. I think it means more from you saying that the league was bad than it does from me saying that the league was good. So I think a lot of these things are just a Mario cloud following
Good
you, and
analogy.
you can just get rid of it. I think
Yeah.
you just get rid of it and create content how you want to. Do you want to play 4 days a week or not? Do you want to play Hollow Knight? Play it. If you're getting your ass kicked, which you will,
I
and you
will.
hate it, then play Baldur's Gate 3. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
when you get rid of those things, I think you will feel better and maybe you will find you can do both of them in harmony very easily.
It's really funny, Raxx, because, you know, people are saying I have the lights down low, I've got a candle, I've got my shirt zipped down. It's funny because my wife almost said exactly what you just said to me last night when we talked.
Yeah.
Words of wisdom. That's exactly what she said. Not using the Mario analogy, but like just if it's too much and you got all this stuff swirling around you, take a step back and just truly focus on just what you want to do. Don't push yourself, like you said, to be doing all this crap and juggling all these different things and worrying about like, oh my gosh, I'm going to, you know, have a huge reaction because you're releasing a negative video. All these people are going to be talking. It it's good. It's good advice. Good advice, and I thank you for that. I have I have one question to ask, I guess, on this, kinda, and I was talking about it a little bit earlier. I wonder if you. I'm sure you have experienced this now. Before I was, you know, creating stuff, I was huge participant in the community just as like a player, right? I was chatting on boards and forums. I've done that since like the earliest days of me being able to use the internet. Probably my parents didn't like that. Although, you know, I didn't frequent like bad places. I was like on the Dungeons and Dragons online forums. I had like thousands of posts on there typing about it, right? I like interacting with the community. And now, literally everywhere I go, I'm like I'm like gun shy that there's going to be a bomb that like just hits my head. Like I know that people say, oh, okay, don't let it affect you. Well, the way I do that is like, okay, if there's going to be a thread, if there's a thread that says talkative try, don't ever click on that. Don't do it. You know, if people are crap talking on your videos and saying very bad things, saying KMS and stuff, mute them, block them from your channel. Okay, great. But man, dude, like I'll open global chat and like people will just be talking mad crap about me, and it's so weird. And it's like I don't know how my brain doesn't know how to react to it. And it's like I really want to just enjoy the game sometimes, and I can't. and participate in the community as a player? Is that something that kind of just goes away when you become someone that people know? I don't know. This seems like such a first world problem, but it's something that I'm grappling with, and I can't like Google it. You know, maybe I should ask this in private, not public. But
Bro, you can ask
yeah,
me anything that you want. That problem, like if there was a solution to that problem, then I think like content creation would officially become like the easiest
easiest
job you
job.
could possibly do. Like content creation in terms of like your daily duties, sit in a chair, talk in the
Yep.
microphone and play games, it's up there with like the easiest thing you can do. Really where all the challenge comes in is inevitably as people start to know you, people will talk about you and people will hate you. And how you deal with that, if again, if there was a solution there, you'd be a billionaire. Um, the thing the thing I think the best way to deal with it is it has to be with yourself.
Yeah.
So the interview that I did with Diablo 4 a few weeks ago is probably the most negative thing potentially I've ever experienced in my life toward me. The reason why that overall did not that much damage to me is because I sat back and I asked myself, like, was it really that much of a disaster? And I looked at my questions. I'm like, bro, I asked them such difficult questions that are at the core of everything that I think that everyone, at least most people, believe is a problem. And I'm like,
Mm,
like it didn't end up the way that I wanted to do it, and I could
right.
have done it better.
Yeah.
But people are acting like I've completely failed them. It's like, bro, I asked them a lot of the questions, and if I can live with it internally, if I can live with
Right.
it myself, it makes it much easier to tune out all the noise. As you said, a huge portion of it is to not engage with it, right? So, like if your wife is checking or your dad is checking and you're checking and everyone's relaying to you
Yeah.
all the information. I'll give you a specific example.
Yeah.
My brother does my YouTube. He wrote Maxwell Guides for a long time. He knows these games very well. For a long time, he would tell me like, "Hey, there's this one guy who's going ape shit in the comments, just letting you know, like saying this or that or this or that." A couple years into it, I told him, "Don't ever tell me about it anymore. I just don't want to hear it. I if you have constructive feedback to give me or something I can work on, eh, give me that all the time. If there's like an obstacle in my way, either remove it for me or just don't let me know that it's there because I'm trying to clear my mind and go down this path."
Right.
So, overall, I would say there's no magic solution, but definitely don't engage with the people just talking shit about you. It doesn't mean ignore
Yeah.
constructive criticism, and don't
Right.
have people feed it to you either.
That's a good piece of advice because people definitely do that. Do that, unfortunately. Uh, I'll tell them to just knock it off and seriously knock it off this time. So I think you're really on point about the internal stuff, which is why I'm glad the past few days. This sounds so silly that I'm saying it out loud, but I literally took a lot of time to just sit and think. No phone, no external things, like just sitting, after people have fallen asleep and I'm just thinking about everything. I feel like that's so important and I've done that so infrequently as of late. It like I I was going too hard. And I think I neglected myself and my family for a while there. I remember I went on an energy drink spree. Bad idea. I drank like 4 energy drinks in a day once. And then I was like, bro,
Damn.
okay, stop. What do you do? If you are on fumes, quit it. That was several weeks ago. I haven't had an energy drink in 2 weeks. Woo, 2 weeks clean. Let's go. Um,
Let's go, dude.
right, I know. So I really feel like a lot of it is internal and and I've had great advice from like so many people have like reached out and talked to me and helped me and I'm so thankful. I don't know, this time these past 2 weeks it really like hit me hard and I'm glad I've taken the time to just examine everything and kind of make these decisions and then talk to you about it, talk to the like community about it. Everybody's been very very nice and helpful. I appreciate the fine words, man. I do. I really do. So,
these
Very
life
kind.
inflection points, they feel
Yep.
pretty bad when you're in them, but it's also an opportunity to come out with the light at the end of the tunnel on the other side, right? So
Yeah.
you're probably going to be a lot happier after this. It's going to be a
100%.
good thing.
And hey, it's like right around the new year, so you can really build. Oh, new year, new me. I'm making the change now. I'm none of that. All right, I'll do it on January 1st stuff. No, 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 no. It starts today, right? So, yeah, man, this has been fantastic. Your internet appears like it's going to kill itself right now. It can't stand me anymore. So, what you gonna have some tacos
Yeah.
for dinner, or you already had tacos?
I haven't eaten at all today.
Oh my
I'm gonna go
god.
eat some tacos and yeah, just relax and get ready to blast again tomorrow. We go again.
All right. All right, Raxx, thank you so much. Everybody in the live chat, everybody watching the VOD, I'll put Raxx's information below, although I'm sure all of you already know who he is, especially you, Dad. This one's for you, all right? All right,
Dad knows who I am
yeah,
for sure.
Raxx is the favorite son. All right. Talk to you guys later. Thank you again, Raxx. Have a great one. Goodbye.
Have a good stream, buddy. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Raxx. I'll chat with you later, man. Thank you so much. Seriously, go have some tacos for me, okay?
Taco time. Later, dude.
All right, see ya. Bye-bye.